Good morning, class. How are you all doing?
Great.
Okay. I hope you all read the article that was posted. Who can tell me what it was about?
Integrating art in all the curriculum.
Yes, yeah, that is what it was about. It was how integrating art into other subjects makes learning come alive. At the beginning of the article, it stated that the arts are typically the first programs that are cut within the schools. How many of you can, throughout your education, can agree with that? All right. Is anyone willing to share why they think that is? Danny?
Art is often considered a luxury, not necessarily a required learning skill. Oftentimes people are told, oh, you're just not good at art, that's okay, not everyone has to be good at art. And it's just kind of blown off as an extra.
In my high school, there was a definite sports culture and then a definite arts culture, and it felt very unfair that the school board members and even the community who would vote on different things always voted to give more money to the sports culture and therefore took money from the arts.
I would say that in addition to what was already stated, which I absolutely agree with, there in my experience, there are two other reasons. The first is that there isn't this testing culture surrounding art, and so we tend to let external tests dictate what we teach. So, hey, let's focus on science and math and reading, which are all good things as well, but you get art tests coming down from on high that have high stakes implications. And then the second is that, and the article mentions this, is that there's not a specific necessarily vocation attached to art. It's viewed as a hobby, and so we tend to focus more on academic subjects that lead to vocations and jobs, and art in people's minds just isn't that way.
All right, yeah, those are all great answers that are right for sure. So one way that we can keep arts in the schools is by integrating them into our own content areas. So I'm just going to start out with an example of a way that you can introduce art into another content area. Okay, so I want you guys to get into two groups. So we'll have you guys all be a group and then the rest of you be a group. And I want you to take out a sheet of paper. Oh wait, you guys can do we just need one sheet of paper per group because we'll work together though. Alright, so once you guys have the sheet of paper out, I want you to imagine that you are the woman in this picture, and I want you to write down 5 things that you think that she's thinking or saying on the sheet of paper. And then once you finish with the woman, I want you to do the children and write down 5 things that you think they are saying or thinking. And then we'll share.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I wish I didn't lose my job.
I mean, it's awfully sad, but
Yes.
the photo essay is awfully sad.
I hope they're not making me think
It's a beautiful photo in what it captures.
Ooh! Deep right now.
into this is a top conversation. That's okay.
Can I tell you something? I turned off notifications for that because it was getting annoying on my phone.
Right, I do too. It's all good.
Yeah. I just see her thinking, planning, and taking care of business. That's what I see in her eyes. It's obviously a tough situation, but I just see her just working it out. Because you do, you just keep working it out. Kids?
We'll find out. I'm not saying more about the photo.
Should I think of that, or it's just?
Yes.
It's just their turn. Yeah.
Right.
This is a photo I use in my class. Students always. Did you guys already comment on that? Alright, there are 3 children in the photo.
All right.
Yeah.
They might be thinking, that's comforting, well,
Let's say camera 7.
so they might actually feel insecure if she's in there.
I'm deep sometimes.
Comforted and secure. Kids don't always know the details of what's going on.
Yes.
With mine, so.
I wish I could.
All right, I think we're close to being done or done. If not, we'll just share what we have. So I want your table to share the 5 things that you think the woman is saying or thinking. Just from what you wrote down.
Just, want a couple things?
Yeah.
Well, the mom looks worried. And she's questioning how could this be happening. Getting depressed maybe. When I saw her, she's just working it out and planning. And when you're a parent, no matter what's going on, you're just always take care of business. Just keep
Yeah.
moving.
Yeah.
This keeps going.
What about your guys' table?
We had, so we thought the kids might want like a warm blanket or feel hungry. We said they wish that the mom wasn't feeling sad. We thought she looked kind of sad. I wanted one place to sleep, and I wish I could play with my friends.
What sorts of things about that photo make you think those thoughts? Just anyone in general? Like what you wrote down, why do you think that the photo evokes those sayings or feelings? Danny?
The body, sorry.
Oh,
Or the body.
Yeah.
And kind of going off of that, little kids especially when they're scared or crying or upset, they tend to do the cover up, fetal
yeah.
position sort of thing.
So then we'll move on to the kids. What does your table think that they are saying or feeling?
Scared, afraid, tired, cold, sleepy, dependent, a lot of that. Again, I thought, they might just be feeling comforted and secure. Sometimes they don't realize what's going on. And
Yeah.
as long as they're with mom, it's okay.
And why do you feel that way? Like have those sayings or feelings? Is
The
it just their
baby's
body?
not crying at all.
For me, as I know that, look, I probably have been in a tough situation, but I raised a couple kids and I a lot of familiarity with something.
What about you guys for the kids?
Oh, we already read the kids, but what do we think?
Oh, okay.
I wish I could feed my kids I'll gotta start with I wish.
No, that's fine.
I wish I didn't lose my job. I hope they're not angry with me when they're older.
Hmm.
I wish I could take a shower and change clothes. Times are tough, like we're thinking maybe it was in the Great Depression, or it could be like current day too. I'm kind of talking about a little.
So this image is Migrant Mother by Dorothea Lange. It was from the time of the Depression. It was taken in 1936. And different ways that you could integrate what we just did into your classroom is like with a history or social studies lesson, add that into a leeway as to the effects of the Depression, or even a language arts one where you're writing from a different point of view of either one of them or just in general. And you can do that with many images. So I guess, has art ever been integrated into any of your classrooms? Tony, I see you nodding your head. How?
There's, even here at UWS, there's a class that we've taken, the exercise science department called kinesiology. And we have to draw a picture of like a pectoral minor with the muscles and the joints and all the ligaments, and then do a presentation on it.
Okay, yeah, that's wonderful. What about you?
The class I took on campus here, we made these lummy sticks, and we had to paint them in any design of our choice.
Ooh, okay, that's cool too. Anybody else, even throughout most of their education?
Also another class here at UWS, it's a special literature course where it looks at a specific kind of literature called avant-garde. And a lot of the avant-garde literature is directly related to impressionist types of art.
Yes.
And so we compared and contrast how the actual art is like the art of writing.
Okay, yeah, that's super cool too. What benefits do you guys believe there are to integrating art into the regular classroom? Bill?
Well, some of the motivation and such, in my field experience right now, what we're doing is that students are picking a historical figure, researching him, but you've got different options, but one of them is to perform, to be that character, do some costuming, there's a lot of drama, theater type kids there,
Yeah.
and if they're not, they're working with other ones, so they're, but it's a social studies history thing, but
Yeah, it makes, yeah, definitely more.
they get a chance to use that side of it, and then they're making an artifact too, so the artists are enjoying that.
Okay. Danny?
It gives your more visual learners an opportunity to explore, and it also gives your quiet students a chance to express themselves in a more one-on-one, intimate way, and your more
Yeah.
introverted kids who would thrive better than a group setting.
Yes, yeah, for sure. Any other ideas at all? Avery?
I mean, it really helps cement the thought process and the ideas that you're learning about, like between drawing muscle systems or drawing a field of view in a microscope.
Yeah.
Like, I can see it, but I won't really put it in until I need to be looking at it and coloring it and drawing it for an extra point.
Yeah. Naomi?
Doing art in different content areas, perhaps it could reduce art stereotypes for students, thinking that it's certain things and generalizing it and who can and can't do it and what it looks like, things like that.
Yeah, for sure. Those are all great ideas. How would you guys feel teaching an integrated art classroom? What challenges do you think there would be? Or,
Couldn't do it in PE.
yeah,
Really, want to like draw your favorite basketball player today, but it wasn't up to the Nintendo standards and the kids aren't exercising.
yeah.
Could you have kids maybe at upper levels draw out their own, I don't know the words, but like the plays that they could make?
They could draw plays, I
Mhm.
guess. If that's artsy.
Get creative.
If that's artsy. That's not artsy, that's like. I guess.
It's
not really artsy.
it's creativity though.
Okay.
Can't we, I mean, I think Tony, this is a really great example. I was watching the Vikings Cowboys game last night, and there was a particular defensive scheme that the Cowboys ran at the end of the game that was beautifully creative and artistic, right? Like it was I could, like put a symphony, turn the volume down and put a symphony over it, like, and it would have been as beautiful. I mean, seriously, it was. So I think sometimes we define art a bit too narrowly, right?
Yeah.
We're is it drawing, is it painting, or is it applying a creative mindset to
Yeah.
something pragmatic?
Okay, let's say it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that, or
Oh, yeah.
would you just?
I definitely believe that art is like creative, so anything that uses creativity can be art.
Sure.
Dan, you had your hand up?
I would love to integrate art more into an English or health classroom, but, I mean, this is kind of like an art narrowly, but if I really wanted to kind of help take the place of maybe an art class that's been cut, I wish I would have had more training as to what different types of historical arts and modern day arts are, because I know a little bit, like I could tell that was pre-depression,
Yeah.
but
But then there's just the,
yeah, I
Yeah.
couldn't tell them much more than that. I couldn't show them the different methods and styles.
Mhm.
It would be something like draw this scene out of the book, and I couldn't guide them on how to like form different figures.
yeah, okay. Yeah, that's definitely a challenge.
And they mentioned in the article, we're all aware that with the testing and you gotta get standards, you gotta get stuff done, it's a real challenge and there's not time. So you really gotta push to do it. The school I'm at, the project gets ready, so we have lots of that going on.
Oh, yeah.
Yesterday, I just walked in on we're talking about the sun, Matt's doing an astronomy seminar, and it was just, They Might Be Giant song of the sun, which I actually have the book, the lyrics are right out of the science book,
Mhm.
and they just sang it.
Yeah.
Again, we got so many kids that play music, it's like, all right, play that, take this, make these lyrics, write a song.
Yeah.
And just, that's really out there, and there may not always be time, but thinking that way might create some opportunities.
For sure. Sasha?
I think a lot of people like would be comfortable teaching art because they're not like confident in their own skills. Like they think they're bad at art, or like I hear it all the time, like I can't even draw a stick figure. And I'm
Yeah.
Can't draw a straight line with a ruler.
So I think a lot of people like, are hesitant to try to do something like that because,
They're confident now.
and that goes with Danny's like lack of training.
Yeah.
whatever.
Which definitely is, for sure. So there is a helpful website that I'm gonna show you. So if you go to this site, I'm gonna have you guys all go to it. So pull out your laptops or phones. So on this site, it has great ideas for how you can integrate art into different content areas. They give a description of it, when where it can be used, and like what it encourages. So I want you guys to work either in your group or individually to look up an activity or just like look at the different ones and look at one that you think that you could integrate into your content area. One of the one that we did for the picture, I got that activity from this site.
Can you go back to the link,
Oh, yeah.
please? Thank you.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No problem.
I'll wait till you guys are all ready.
So we're going under resources.
It should just bring you straight to the site, and then on the left, there's gonna be all those options, and those are the different activities.
Oh.
Yeah. And then look up.
Are we ready to go to the site?
Good here.
So this is the activity that I did with the Dorothea Lange photo. It's the step inside one. And then it says like, what kind of thinking does this routine encourage? And then where and when it can be used. And it'll give a little thing about certain content areas as well that it would be helpful in. It's definitely a good resource as future
I know it
educators.
comes down.
Oh.
This one's really cool. It's what makes you say that. And it's like looking at something and you say, well, what's going on? And what do you see that makes you say that? That's cool. Yeah. You could easily tie that into literature, I would think.
Because I could like going into that like closet and pulling out the pencils and
Dance, yeah, that's,
And we could have pages
Put on the galleries and kind of open it.
There are definitely other ones that you can use for language arts. Which one? I know I was looking at different ones last night.
people creating.
There's the colors and shaped lines one, which, I mean, depending on,
Is this
because
art, this website?
like a
This
piece of artwork, and then relate it to me,
And
cost
that's
or
what you were
angles,
thinking.
so more like geometry. Yeah, geometry more so. Yeah, that was really good for that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Looks like it.
It's in the, like the, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
He doesn't give real things down.
Right.
Nice.
I love it.
I was in a part of the state where it was like rural. Like we only had, I mean, we had a day where kids drove their lawnmowers to school.
This is science, your suggestion?
It was a spirit day. No, in Crookston. Crookston has like 6,000 people. Like, it's all far.
It's really pushing gambling.
And so that's not bad. It gives a very interesting perspective. It's not one I subscribe to, and it's really hard to get the majority of people in that community excited about arts and keeping them in the schools.
Oh, I know, it goes on the bottom, it doesn't like open.
Now, granted, we have a pretty impressive community theater program for the size and political community.
Alright guys, so there's just a ton of strategies that you can use to integrate art into your classroom and your content area. So I hope this is a good resource for all of you in the future.
Thank you, Sarah. I continue to just be so thankful